Good morning and welcome through the 1/2-inch Washington blizzard this morning. Everybody trudged through the 1/2 inch of snow to get here. This morning, the meeting will come to order. I want to welcome everyone to today's hearings, which is the 7th this committee has held examining the construction of the new Rocky Mountain Regional Medical Center in Aurora, Colorado. The road to completing this hospital has been extremely long and bumpy. The groundbreaking ceremony was held in 2009. All told, the price tag is at least $2 billion. This situation must never happen again. But the finish line is near. Mr. Coffman, Mr. Congressman Perlmutter, and myself toured the medical center last week to see personally about this. Today we are here to discuss how near and take a close look at the facility that has been produced. This construction debacle changed the way VA builds hospitals. In 2015, Congress mandated that another expert agency take over management of all VA superconstruction projects, which is everything over $100 million. That agency is the Army Corps of Engineers. All available evidence suggests this was the right decision. In just over 2 years, the Army Corps has guided the project from less than 60% complete and mired in contractor disputes to 98% complete. VA has accepted all but one of the buildings, the Diagnostic and Treatment Center. But the end of construction is merely the beginning of VA's activation effort. Activation is never easy, and unfortunately, in this hospital's activation, the team must continue to correct design and construction errors. The design of this facility began over 10 years ago. It has already been well established how architectural novel and extravagance drove up this construction cost. In addition to that, so much time has elapsed that the practice of medicine, building codes, and intended uses for the spaces have changed. It is deeply troubling that this new Aurora Medical Center doubles the square footage of the existing Denver Medical Center, but includes the same number of beds and actually reduces primary care capacity. There are also hundreds of errors, individually but small, which add up to a significant problem and that must be corrected. Things like sink in an operating room, surfaces that can't be cleaned, inadequate air conditioning systems, voltage problems, and an entire data center that must be rearranged. There are also mistakes to be fixed at the end of the construction job, but I have to wonder whether the clinicians who will treat veterans in this facility have ever scrutinized its specifications. Even after the new medical center opens, VA must continue operating the old medical center because presently some of the primary care doctors and the PTSD residential rehabilitation facility have nowhere else to go. When Congress authorized this project and continued to authorize it through all its struggles, having two major VA hospitals 6 miles apart was never part of the deal. The local leadership expressed their commitment to closing down the old facility as soon as possible and recouping as much money from the taxpayers from the assets as they can. This committee is going to make sure that happens. H.R. 4243, the VA Asset and Infrastructure Review Act, which we reported out of a committee in November, would give the VA the tools it needs to expedite building a new PTSD rehab facility on the Aurora campus and cut through bureaucratic hurdles to dispose of the Denver campus. And I can tell you, after visiting out there last week, this particular facility is a poster child for why we need VA asset review. If any of you all have any doubt about that, please make the trip to Denver and look. And it will absolutely reassure, it will give you peace. It did me to know that we need to do this. Now is the time to add up what has been gained and lost from this experience. VA added a state-of-the-art spinal cord injury treatment center. And I do want to mention that this truly is a state-of-the-art. That was one of the most impressive parts of my trip, was this new spinal cord treatment center. It is going, there's could not be a better one, I think, in the world, maybe. And I know that the DAV, the Disabled Veterans, looked at this, helped design it, which I thought was really smart. And I want to commend the VA for this. And I think once it's implemented, it will be really a state-of-the-art facility for our injured veterans. Also, new imaging capabilities, amenities for patients, and a modern facility of the burgeoning veteran populations decades into the future. On the other side of the ledger, VA lost a significant amount of primary care space and must continue correcting defects potentially up to the day the doors open. And of course, successive groups of VA managers have spent a mind-boggling amount of taxpayer money. That being said, I now yield to Ranking Member Walz for his opening comments.
Well, thank you, Chairman.